Okay. All right. This is a little crooked. I'm not sure I can make it be less crooked. Let's see what happens here. Okay, hi all. My name is Wendy Keys Turnbull, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And this is my regular Wednesday Night Live. You are going to watch me do something from beginning to end because I didn't have time. Hi, Angela. I didn't have time to prep my pieces for this. I just finished the sample, but this is the sample of what we're making today. It is a small gift box that you could put candy in. I also didn't have time to go find something to put in it, but it also has an easel card attached to it. So you have birthday wishes, let's celebrate. And then you've got your box full of whatever you're giving. I think I'm going to make a Christmas card for this one. I just have to find a stamp set to use because they're all in with my stamp stuff. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Sherry. Okay, so I'm going to get started. This again, I know I told you I was going to case from other people besides Connie Stewart, but she and 3 others put on the Creative 8, and this is actually from their summer Creative 8. So I'm drawn to Connie's style. I don't know what to say. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the pieces we need. So I'm going to leave this up here in the corner for you to see for a little bit. Move that. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut our pieces. So I am going to use Old Olive and Real Red. And I'm going to use this, which is from the traditional Christmas Designer Series paper, and then basic white. Okay, so first thing we have to cut is, I'm trying to decide which color I want to be which. Let's make the box out of Old Olive and the sleeve and card out of Real Red. So let's start with the Real Red here. I need a 6.5 by 4 3/4 inch piece. So let's see, 6.5, whoops, means I gotta stretch it out here a little bit. Let me see, nope, I can only go in. Never mind, I don't want to do that. Okay, well, I can't get it all into the seam because it's so close. Sorry about that, guys. 6.5. Hi, Collie. Okay, watch the replay. 6.5 by 4 3/4. 4 3/4. Then we're also going to need a little tiny piece that's 2 5/8 by 7/8. So let's do, well, first let me see what other piece I need. I need a 10. I'm going to have to get another piece out for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this part. I need a 2 5/8 by 7/8. I'm just going to do the 7/8 first. And 2 5/8. You know, I could be doing it on this end. I could pull it down so you can see this end. 2 5/8. Okay, there's 2 of the pieces I need. Then I will also need a 2.5 by 1.5 piece. 2.5 by 1.5, and a 2.5 by 2 3/8. Is this? Let's see here. That's 2.5 by, I don't have 2 3/8 left, so I'll have to use this other piece over here. Do 2.5. And then do 2, where was I? 2 3/8. 1, 2, 3. This has been a wild, crazy day with lots of appointments. And Callie, I got my hair done today, too. I will just say that. She's not watching, but all right. Oh, wait. Okay, so what this is this is an 11-inch piece. This is I think, yep, it's an 11-inch piece, and I'm going to need 10. So I'm just going to cut, I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch off of each end because I need to score it in the middle, and this is already scored in the middle. So I'm just going to do it this way. And then it needs to be 3 1/4 inch. Okay. Oops, didn't quite make it. Okay, that's all of the timid tiger I need. I might as well cut the old olive too, because I only need 2 pieces of that. So I need a 4 5/8 by 8 1/2. So this is 8 1/2 across already. So I just need 4 5/8, which is 1/8 over 1/2. 4 5/8 by 8 1/2. And I need a 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. So 5 1/4. Gotta do it from, oh, I can close this up. Do it from that. Nope, I gotta do it from this end. Sorry, guys. Okay, by 2 3/4. 2 3/4. Okay. So there, I've done all of that part. Let me get all these little pieces out of the way so they don't confuse me, because I'm easily confused lately. Okay, let me just throw those over here. Okay, so we're going to start back with these pieces. We are going to score the 6 1/2 by 4 3/4 piece at 1 inch on all 4 sides. So I'm going to this side of the plate here. 1 inch and 1 inch and 1 inch. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Susan. And 1 inch. Okay. I'm just getting started, Susan. I'm making a box, an Easel card box, gift box, candy box, or whatever. So I'm just getting started on it, so you didn't miss much. Okay, so for this, I'll score the rest later. Let me show you what we're going to do to this. First, we're going to cut, and left-handed. Got to do it right-handed. It's hard to do things right-handed. All right, we're going to cut a little miter there. We're going to cut straight down the score line here. Can't tell if I'm doing it or not because I moved my lamp away so it wouldn't be so bright on you guys. It looks close. All right, like that. That wasn't very neat. I'm going to do it the other way. I know it's weird, but this is what I need to do. Cut with my fingers instead of my thumb. Just a few more weeks and I'll have my thumb back. Okay, I didn't quite get all the way down that one. Okay. And here. And I'm going to do the same thing at the other end. I'm going to be careful not to go through the line there. I didn't even get to the line there. Okay. And cut a little wedge out there. Cut a little wedge out here. All right, same on this last one. I feel like a kindergartner with scissors for the first time. Hi, Tammy. And little wedge over here. All right. Get those out of the way. And we're going to score all of these nice, you want nice sharp edges. You want a nice crisp box. So I'm going to do this. I could score these too. Might as well. All right. That way. And then last but not least. All right. Do it with the other hand, Wendy. Okay. Oops. Okay. We are going to before we do anything else, we need to reinforce this end here because they're going to be pulling it open and shut. So we've got this little piece that is 2 5/8 by 7/8, so it's slightly shorter than that, and we're going to glue that in. We're going to use glue because glue will make it a little stronger. I'm not really coordinated with the glue gun with my right hand. I tend to get clumps of glue in places, and I've had to keep opening this up all day because I've been working on other things. Okay. All right, here we go. If I could just pick that up. Oh my goodness. This is not fun. Okay. There it goes. Whoop, right onto my finger. Now I'm gonna do it the wrong way. The way I shouldn't be doing it, but I can't help myself. Okay. So we're gonna glue this right up against the edge here on the top. There we go. And let that dry for a couple minutes. And to cut, we're going to cut the little opening here, the little thumb hole. I have a very old 1 3/8 inch punch that I'm using. My smallest punch I think that's current is 1 7/8, and it's in one of the boxes for Christmas. So the one thing I do need to do though is this has got a weak spot in it. Let me grab aluminum foil. I just used it, so it's got to be close by. Sure. Oh, there it is. Okay, so when your dies or your punches get weak, you can just use aluminum foil. If you punch or die cut with aluminum foil, see that's where it's not very good right there on the edge. It should sharpen up the piece a bit, sharpen them up a bit. So I'm going to try one more time and see if we can get it to cut through. Well, it's not cutting all the way through, but let's see what happens. Give that a couple of minutes to dry. Feels dry. Okay, let's see what we can do here. It cut almost all the way. Now I want to get it centered pretty well. That looks good. And I only want a little piece to come out. And I'm making a mess. Getting it all over the place. There we go. It did work. Okay, good. Can't even close these things. Oh my goodness. I am really struggling. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to glue these. Which glue is your favorite? Is the gun? No, the gun is not Stampin' Up. It is My Sweet Petunia. And the bottles came with it. There's 2 bottles, one with a tiny little nozzle and one with a bigger nozzle. But I fill it with glue. So at once, I used up the glue that was in it, and now I just fill it. I have to remember... Yep, there on the inside. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put glue because we want this to be sturdy. So we're going to use glue, or you could use tear and tape, anything stronger. You don't want to just use plain Stampin' Seal or Stampin' Seal Plus because it's going to, I expect it'll get some wear and tear. Oops, get it all over there. And the important thing is to be right near the fold here because we don't want any gap there. We want it to stay glued together and not be gapping out. And one more corner. Okay. Whoops, I'm just not coordinated. I am learning to write with my right hand though. I think I told you guys a couple of weeks ago or last week or both that I've been using my right hand, and it's actually I can read it now, which is pretty remarkable because when I first tried it, I could not make any letters look like what they were supposed to look like. But now they do. Okay, I want it to be all the way there, right at the edge. I want them to line up, the corners to line up perfectly. So, Susan, I like the green glue, the Tombow glue, but I also like Barely Arts glue. I like that very much. So I kind of go back and forth between the 2 of them. The only thing I don't like about the Tombow is that it kind of stays sticky. So if you're messy and you get it where you don't want it, you're going to have a sticky spot there all the time unless you powder it with an embossing buddy. So, and I didn't cut this one very well, but we'll do the best we can here. Okay, hang on. Cut it down a tiny bit more here. I shouldn't be using these scissors because I'll get glue sticky on them, and oh well. All right. So there's our box. So now we're going to make the sleeve for the box. And I just need to flip a page here because I don't remember how to do this one, even though I did it more recently than I did the box. But I've done a lot of boxes, so I just didn't remember where I've got to. So the sleeve is going to be Old Olive. And we are going to score it. Let me get this mess out of here. Okay, we're going to score it. And I'm going to have to open this up. And I think I'll put it at an angle, so hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing here. All right, I'm going to score it at 2 7/8. 2 7/8. And then we're going to score it at 3 7/8. And then we're going to score it at 6 3/4 and 7 3/4. Okay, so we've got the sides and the bottom and top, and then a flap to glue. And we are going to, I need to keep that there because I'm going to need it. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut a little wedge on each end of this little flap here. Probably would be easier if I folded it first so you could see what I'm talking about. And I'm going to flip it over to cut the other edge because my hands just won't cooperate. Okay, whoops, so much for that paper. All right, so now we're going to do our creasing, folding and creasing again. Wrong side. And here. And here. And one more here. Okay. So there is our sleeve, which is going to slide over our box. But first thing I'm going to do, we're going to put this piece on the outside, and then we're going to have that be the bottom. I'm not going to show you that I made it the top by mistake on the other one. So we're going to put either tear and tape or glue here. You know what? I have some really wide tear and tape that I think came out of a paper pumpkin. I'm going to use that because it's just going to make it easier for me. I think maybe it's not going to make it easier for me. All right, let's do it this way. I do need it to be, this might be okay actually, now that I think about it. Nope, I'm not using those. Use my sticky scissors. Okay. All right. Stick that to there. Ow, and off it goes. All right, let's make sure this is down nice and tight. And then get it started, peel it off. And the nice thing is we can fold this just like this. Oops, let's make sure that doesn't stick out there on either end. Okay, and do this, and there we go. We'll go back and forth. Okay, so this is going to slide onto here. Now, before we go any further, I want this to be sturdier, so I'm going to put a base on it. I'm going to put this piece that we folded in half, or that we cut out 10 by 3 1/4, and now we're going to fold it in half. Where did my bone folder? There it is. Okay. We are going to glue it closed. This is just going to be to give the box strength. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the box back out of there because I'm going to need it. I'm going to need to put this on here by itself. Okay, so I'm going to take the bottom of this box here, or this sleeve here, and I'm going to cover it in glue or tear and tape. I'm going to cover it in glue because it's a big enough piece that I can probably do it without making a mess of everything. Come on, squeeze out. Okay, let me switch to the other bottle of glue that has the bigger tip on it. Oh, both of these are pretty close to empty. So this one has a bit of a wider tip on it. And because it's, oops, backwards, because it's been sitting there upside down, I should be able to get it to come right out. Yes, good. Okay, let's try this again. All right. Whoops, I went over the edge. I do want it to be close to the edge. Oops, this is hard to do with your non-dominant hand. Okay, put that back on right now while I'm thinking of it, so it stays open. All right. That is, oops, I shouldn't have put the top on before. That's all right, it worked. Get my other glue back on for when I need it in a few minutes. Okay, we're gonna take this. Now we're gonna put the crease at the front because don't need any edges out, and I'm gonna get rid of that first. Okay, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna line this up. Oh, I totally forgot to glue this, and that's what I got this glue out for. Okay, hang on. I'll do this. All right. That's good enough. Oh, goodness. I miss my left hand. Okay, and as Connie says, we got to give it a back rub. Rub it all over, make sure it sticks everywhere. Okay, and then this, again, the crease is going to be at the front. The loose edges are going to be at the back. And here we go. We're going to line it up on 3 sides. I'm going to center it right about there. And I got a lot of glue there. That's all right. And then we're going to open it up like that. And there you go. There you've got that. Okay. So we're going to put this in to here. All right. And now we're going to make the card that goes on it. So I need to cut a few more little pieces here and there. I've got these. Okay, I need my designer series paper. And for the designer series paper, got way too many pairs of scissors out here. We need a piece. We need 2 pieces. We need a piece that is 2.5 by 4 1/4 and a piece that is 2.5 by 1 3/4. So I really want, I'm going to trim this because I really want the full flowers on the bigger piece. So I'm just going to trim this little edge off here so that I can have this, because 2.5. All right, I'm going to do it. I can do it that way. No, I can't because I cut it there. 2.5. I guess I didn't have to cut quite that much off, did I? That's all right. Okay. You know what? Let's do it on the other side and see what happens. 2.5. You can tell I am pretty much done making the prepping the Christmas cards because I'm not afraid to waste paper. All right, I'm also going to cut this off so my 4 1/4 will show the whole flower. 4 1/4. Oops, wrong one. 4 1/4. 2.5 by 4 1/4 and 2.5 by 1 3/4. 1, but I want it to be the flowers. So that right here, 1 3/4. Beautiful. That was perfect. Okay. All right, so those are the 2 pieces I need, that one and that one. Let's get this out of the way so I'm not confused. Can you tell I get confused easily lately? All right, so now I need my white. And my white, and I cut it wrong on my sample. I need a 2 1/4 by 2 1/8 and a 2.5 by 1 1/4. So I need a 2 1/4 by 2 1/8. Good. And that's going to go on here. And I need a 2.5, which means I'm going to need to, nope, 2.5 by 1.25. Oops, I forgot to turn my, there we go. 1.25. 1.25. Okay, and that is meant to only have a border on the top and the bottom. And for a change, I did it right this time. Okay. All right, let me quickly find, oh, I should show you so the birthday wishes and the Let's Celebrate on here are done from Simply Said, which is in the annual catalog. Okay. All right, so let me get this out of the way now. And we need a stamp set and some ink. Let me see, have a second here. Okay, so I had a real red right there. Oh well. So I'm going to use the words in the, oh, they're probably, yeah, they're in there. I can use the to from though, which is one of the things I wanted to use. So that's going to be on my inside label. But it's got something else on it too, so hang on another second. Okay, so the problem is that almost all of my sentiments are in things for the weekend. So I'm not going to be able to do the front. I don't have Old Olive. Okay, well, let's see here. Oh, yes, I do. Yay! Forgot I have duplicates. Okay, so first of all, we're going to take the card. I haven't cut the card yet. Yes, I have. Easel. In the green. I think this is it. Okay, hang on a second. Let me look at my directions. Yes. Let's see if that's right. This is 5.25 by 2 3/4. This is the card. Okay, so we are going to, I have to score this. Okay, so we're going to score this at 5/8. 5/8. And at 3.25. 3.25. Okay. And then we're going to do that little wedge cutting thing that we did on the other two pieces. I'm going to try to do it with my right hand. Okay. Good enough. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and score these with the bone folder. And I shouldn't be doing it with this hand. I can feel that in my thumb. And this side. Oh, well. Okay, and then this, I need my sleeve again. This is going to be glued down to the inside of that. So we're going to go ahead and use the glue again. I could use tear and tape again on this too. So any strong adhesive that's going to hold. There it goes. There it's coming out. Okay. Okay. I got a little bit of glue on there. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna put it right up against it. Oops, make sure you got it in there, the right place, so it'll fold open and close. There we go. Okay, and then that goes there like that. Okay, the next thing we do is we glue this right here. I'm gonna use tear and tape. See, all my regular size tear and tape is in bins. That's the thing with having so much prep for Christmas, is that pretty much all of my supplies and my stamped ink pads and my stamps and things are in bins already. Okay, where did that big thick, well, you know what, we can just use regular. There's no reason why we can't use regular tape on this, because this is just the decorations. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus, which I really like. Definitely my favorite tape runner. Okay, make sure our flowers are facing the right direction. Get it lined up and even. There we go. And then we've got our little piece, and our little piece is going to go here. Almost done. Uh-oh. There we go. And that's going to go right here. Centered. Oh, that does not look like it's centering. Did I cut it the wrong size? I think I must have missed. That's okay. We're going to leave it this way. There. That's pretty good. Okay, then for up here, now we've got to do some stamping. This one is just going to have "To From" on it. So let me go ahead and do that. And I'm going to do that in Old Olive. Okay. In Old Olive. Oops. Oh, well. Got a little ghost there. You know what? Let me flip it over and do it again. That's better. All right. And then I'm going to close the Old Olive so I don't put my hand in it. Open the Real Red. Can only do it with my fingernails. This one didn't. This one must be new. Okay, and I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper here because I am going to stamp this snowflake, but I don't want it to be full power because I want to be able to write over it when I'm writing who it's to and from. There we go. And then I'm going to edge, well, I can edge it with the red. Why not? We're going to edge it with the red, and instead of scraping it on there, I'm just going to tap it on there. Okay. And that is going on this. I actually could have edged it in Old Olive. Oh, well. Tape. Oh, I'm off screen a lot here, aren't I? Here, let me move up a little. Okay. Tape. Put that on here, and like I said, this is going to line up with the edges on each side. Then we're going to use dimensionals, which I just saw here a second ago. Where'd they go? They must be under the paper or something. I promise I won't always be this unorganized. Once the Christmas stuff is over with, in the new year, I'll be back to being ready to go. Aha! My cleaning pad, my chamois was on top of it. All right. Good enough. Okay, and we're going to use 6. Use this one over here. Oops, went up a little too high. There we go. And okay, and this is going to go right under here, down about here, I think. All right, so that's going to be your easel. And now this one I'm going to stamp Merry Christmas on when I have a Merry Christmas stamp to stamp it with. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like, but I'm not going to stick it right down permanently. Oh, sometimes that bothers me. Sometimes the tear and tape will tear the cardstock instead of coming out and gluing the cardstock down. I better go this way since it tore it the other, and then it tears it on that side too. Okay, well, I don't know what it doesn't like about this end. You know what? I'm just going to use the regular Stampin' Seal for this one because I think I can go over all of that with the Stampin' Seal. Yep. Okay. So, oh, I don't know why I did that. Now it is taped down. Oh, that's okay. Okay, that'll work. Make sure I've got it the right way because it is slightly off. Yep, it's this way. Okay. And then this will be stamped with Merry Christmas, and this will go right on top of there. But I you know what? I can just put a little piece of Stampin' Seal because that comes up easily. So that's going to be like that. And it's going to say Merry Christmas there. And then we need a little ribbon for right here. Yes, gold will work. Hang on, let me get, oh my goodness. Okay, this is gold striped. And I like to have a mesh one, and I can't believe I'm opening this one because I've got a lot of ribbon that I'm going to use for prizes that I ordered and never opened for Christmas. I ordered as though I was going to be making 30 cards of each thing. I don't know what I was thinking. I did that last year too. Last year I prepped 30 cards of each thing, so I had so many Christmas cards left over after you guys were done that I had to put together and use. Okay. So I don't know how long this ribbon's supposed to be. I'm not even going to look. I'm just going to cut. Now, when Connie did this, she made a bow, but I'm not capable of making bows with one thumb. I've tried. I'm going to attempt it again right now. I'm going to put a tiny little piece of tape in the middle here. Did any come off? That did that time. I'm going to let this stick to that, so maybe I can. All right. I feel so clumsy. Okay, let's fix that. Let's get that lying right. Go a little lower. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to try, since I've got so much ribbon here, I'm going to try to make a bow. Okay, that worked, except I don't want anything that big. So, and this way I can pull it tighter anyhow. Wish I had a thumb. All right, I don't want that one to be so big. Don't loosen up, just come shorter. Okay, and then we'll make this one a little shorter too. There we go. And then we're gonna cut the ends. I should be using my ribbon scissors, but it's not gonna hurt these scissors any. And here. And there we go. Now let's put our box in, like so. And there, all we have to do is stamp Merry Christmas, and there we have it. Ta-da! And you just put your finger in there, slide the box open. There'll be goodies in there, some kind of candy or something. Maybe a little bag of trail mix, because I always have trail mix in the house. Okay. So what do you guys think? Is that something you might want to try making? So I just kind of thought it was cool that the card was attached and that they can display it like this. So there we have a Christmas one and a birthday one. The birthday one, this paper, see, I like it down lower like that because I feel like this is overextended here. So I think that should have been down here. She had it up this high, but I think it looks better down there. That paper is Painterly Pears, which I believe is an online exclusive. The stamp set and the VSP, the whole. It could be in the catalog, but I don't think so. I think it's online. So, okay. So I think that's all I have for you tonight. It only took me, probably about 35 minutes. That's not too bad. So it's an easy make. Okay, that's about it. I will see a lot of you on Saturday for the Christmas card event, and we'll have food to eat, and I'll have retired merchandise to sell, and I'll be giving away a couple raffle things, and I do have some brand new sets that I'm going to raffle off separately than the everyday ones. I'm just going to put your names, everybody who attends, into a separate package, separate. I'm going to give you each. I'm going to write your names on paper and put them in a thing and pull out. I think I'll have 2 prizes for this Saturday and 2 prizes for next Saturday. And I think I may have a couple of people coming together when Bev comes. So if Vicky comes with her, I may save something little for one of them to get to. We'll see. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just draw names. I'll put everybody's name in that's paid to come, and I'll just draw names. All right, you guys, I am really excited for this weekend. Thank you so much for watching, as always. And I will, let me switch you around here. I got my haircut today, so I feel like I can be seen. Don't know how easy it'll be with my iPad. Oh, right, there I am. Okay, so that's crooked, but that's all right. I will be live again next week, as usual. And let's see, what else do I have to tell you? Remember that there's the sale between now and the end of October. Was that a September sale? I don't remember. I will be letting you guys know. There's a great joining offer right now. You get a lot. I don't know where I put it, but I did put it up on here, so you can just look for that message and you see it. So, okay, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Happy stamping. Have a great week. I'll see you all next week or this weekend.